Hey, what's good? Today, let me be your guide. You just sit back and relax. Can you guess what shoe I'm talking about? The Hoka Arahi version 8. Let me tell you why I think this might be the best stability shoe out there. Let's first talk about the word Arahi. What is that? Well, it's a Maori word that means to guide or to lead. It's kind of appropriate because that's what this shoe's meant to do. It's supposed to guide your foot strike. Name aside, the really interesting thing about this shoe, and the most important, is the midsole. And it's not just because it has a stability element. In version 8, Hoka took a big step away from their traditional approach to stability and incorporated a brand new H-shaped frame. That's one of the things that I appreciate about this brand. They're not afraid to take risks. Well, maybe not in the looks department. If you didn't already know, you could probably take one look at this and guess that it's a stability shoe. As you can see, the outer design is kind of whatever, and this green reflective curve in the back is weirdly off-centered. Given that it's a stability shoe, the Arahis are surprisingly light, about 40 grams less than the gel Kayanos from Asics. That's significant because when it comes to stability shoes, they usually give a about saving weight. But don't worry, these shoes are actually very comfortable. The tongue is a thick slab of foam. They puff out so much that at first I wondered how I was going to be able to tie them down. But don't worry, they're actually surprisingly fluffy as well. Maybe a little too much for my taste. There's also plenty of padding around the collar, which makes the step-in feel really nice. When I put these on and went on my first run, the fit felt snug and secure. In fact, the comfort reminded me a lot of the Cliftons, as did the midsole, which makes a lot of sense because they both use the same compression molded EVA, which Hoka says is softer than their previous version. What I did notice in contrast is that the Arahis have a lot more room in the toe box, which was a small complaint that I had with the Cliftons, but these give you plenty of room for your toes to wiggle around. The laces are long and springy, make of that what you will. It does help with dialing in the fit. Again, all about comfort. The last two eyelets have a second hole for a runner's knot, which is a nice little touch because every once in a while when I do use one, it tends to hit the top of the tongue and cause a little bit of irritation. Here, I can just use the second to last eyelet. The upper is a breathable, not just a single, but double jacquard mesh, which I don't really appreciate in warm weather. Last technical note, the Arahis went from a 5mm drop to an 8mm drop by adding more midsole to the heel. Combine that with its early stage meta rocker and you really have a shoe that can roll through your stride without getting that slappy feeling I sometimes got from the Asics Kayanos. Now, let's get back to the heart of the shoe, the midsole. Like I said before, they no longer use a J-shaped frame, which only provided support on the medial side. In version 8, they switched their entire approach and moved to an H-shaped support frame. I may be biased, but I think that was a really smart move. By the way, their new Gaviota also has this new H-shaped frame. I say I'm biased because I don't actually overpronate. If I look at the wear pattern on my other shoes, I actually underpronate. J-frames and other methods that only support the medial side tend to aid those who overpronate more than others. But what if you're like me and you underpronate? A question I do get asked. Well, that's where the H-frame comes in. It provides support for both under and overpronators. So if you land on the lateral side, it prevents your foot from collapsing outward and guides your foot back toward the center. Same thing if you land on the medial side. The denser foam guides your foot back to the center, so you're covered on both sides. If the support can minimize the intensity of that side-to-side weight transfer every time you take a step, I think that can really mitigate injuries. I know what you're thinking. Is the support so firm that it's actually more painful than it's worth? In short, I'd say it's pretty mild and comfortable, once you've broken it in with a few runs. After more than 120 miles, I can't always tell that there's a support element anywhere in the shoe, but I know it's there because on my initial few runs, the outer edge of my left foot felt kind of sore afterwards. You have to give these shoes a little bit of time. You can't give up on them right away. Finally, let's mention the outsole. As you can see, there's really good coverage and there's a lot of it. After more than 100 miles, it's barely worn out. Yes, I've probably done 3/4 of those miles on a treadmill, which is something new for me, and I hate it. Do you guys like running on a treadmill? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would still say that the outsole is durable. There's very little abrasion on the outer heel, which is where I tend to get the most wear. Hey, maybe that's another sign that the support frame is actually working. For many runners, if you already enjoy the Cliftons and want a little support, then the Arahis are perfect. I've always been a fan of mild stability for recovery days, but maybe these could even be your daily trainers. And another thing that people don't really think about, I think these are probably one of the better options for walking as well. The Arahi version 8 have a great new design for those who want support. They provide the right amount of it whether you over or under pronate. Sometimes it's easier to follow than lead. You don't have to worry about how to get there. You can just enjoy the journey. And the Arahis will do just that.